Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make certain kind of little introduction, and I will ask that what are we actually trying to accomplish in these 3 days with lectures and also with demonstration. It is a method that I would like to explain you, a method which is based completely the classical principles of the writing. And these classical principles that developed centuries and centuries ago. I am the lucky person who was educated in many, many years and many, many different instructors in many different places in the world. And I don't want to bore you with this kind of explanation, because that is not the point. The point is that always I try to keep my teaching and my philosophy to the classical writing, equestrian writing principles, which was established far before by very knowledgeable and very great horse masters. And certainly I cannot tell you all this because that will take a long time. On the other hand, I feel that if somebody is really interested in any kind of sport or subject, should know the reasons, the history, and the purpose. And so should be we as horse people, and especially you, as I understood that you are instructors mostly, and you would like to teach other people. The method what I continued, and which was good enough to prepare the American team for 6 Olympic Games, for 5 Pan American Games, for 4 World Championships, and for uncountable many Grand Prix all over the world. There is no Grand Prix where the American people went that sooner or later that we didn't win, or any kind of prize of nation, but the American was not winning in the time when we were training them. Certainly it is true, and I have to admit, that there are shortcuts. But the shortcuts they were necessary because our time is very different from the past. In our time, everything has to be done very fast. We have no time like 100 years ago our ancestors. So the shortcut is important. But we never gave up the classical principles. And that is important. And that's important that you are teaching and trying to get the success with your people without deviating the classical principles. The method what I developed made possible that we have success. But in the same time, what I would say my remark should be that maybe the method what I'm trying to show you here from the beginning to the end in a very short period of time, that maybe not the best method in the world, but every method, systematic method, is better than trying to copy temporary successes of some very talented people. So my advice is that don't be impressed in trying to copy people that today or tomorrow or yesterday they have a certain kind of success and beat your people, or they are not exactly the principle what you are teaching. They are not something that you should copy. You should stick to the classical principle, and sooner or later you will realize that works. It worked in the past, and I'm convinced that will work in the future too. Nobody can learn from practicing writing. It is true. But on the other hand, it's very important that you are educating yourself in theory too. If you are educating theory too yourself, for you the practice will be much easier because you know what you would like to achieve in the practice. So do not underestimate writing books, good books, and studying the theory of the equestrian sport. There was one man who died actually in 1937, 50 years ago, by name Gustav Steinbrecht. And he was the greatest German horse master. And he had a book, Gymnasium of the Horse. In German, der Gymnasium des Pferdes. I was really studying that because that was very interesting for me. And I found in this long period of time that I made my little research, that is the only person who explaining the basic principles of riding. And that is very simple, and you will all remember, and I'm sure that you heard that several times. But I feel that I would like to talk about it a little longer than many other people. And the basic principles, according Steinbrecht, very simple. Make your horse straight and ride forward. Well, couldn't be more simple. The only thing is that maybe that is not so very easy to do. And that is not a very difficult to do, but take time to make the horse straight and riding forward. When is the horse straight? That is very simple to explain. The horse is straight when the spine cord is straight from the top of his head, all in his body, way until end of his tail, completely straight. Certainly, if the horse starts to move, that is a certain kind of deviation, right and left, swinging a little bit, so not stays completely. That is why we have to say that beside the spine cord, we call that the horse is straight when the hind legs going exactly in the direction of the front legs. So how can you say that from the ground? It's very simple. Because if you are going behind the horse, and the horse going straight behind the wall, but our student from the Westpole and Davis will show, because the horse hindquarter is wider than the front, you will see that the hindquarter almost covering the front part, the front legs, or maybe the front legs inside just a little bit show between the hind legs. You can go in the front of the horse, and you can see from the front. In this case, you see that the hind legs are a little bit out from the front legs, but just a very little bit, you can see a contour. And in this case, the neck is straight, the ears are on the same level, if you are really analyzing. And that's what you have the feeling, the horse is straight. We will say that here. How can you feel that if you are sitting on the horse? If you are sitting on the horse and you are putting your weight on both sit bones in an even way, and the horse moving, and you feel, and I have to repeat again, if you is sitting evenly on the sit bones so that your hips are above your sit bones and your shoulder, and you feel that you are completely straight in your upper body. And you feel some kind of little push from the right side, so that you have to adjust yourself every time. That shows already for you in feeling that the right hind leg is not going exactly straight in the direction of the front leg, and pushing more weight on the opposite shoulder. That is why you have all the time feeling that you are here and you try to come back. That horse is crooked. That horse is crooked. At the same time, if he is doing that, the other hind leg, which is now accordingly talking about going on the left, the inside hind leg start to move in the direction between the two front legs. So that is very obvious for you to go behind or in front of the horse, and you will see that one hind leg is coming in the middle of the front leg, and the other hind leg is out. In other words, he's not moving on two track, he's moving on 3 track. This is the time when the horse is crooked. That is what Steinberg said, make your horse straight. How can you make your horse straight? You can make your horse straight with the elementary dressage movement. You can use the yielding exercise, the shouldering exercise, the turn on the haunches, the 2-track, and all this kind of basic elementary movement to try to finally to put the horse in the straight line. Now, if you are not successful, so very easily happen that the horse physically has a trouble in some side or the other side, where you have to find out with veterinarian where is the trouble. That could be calcification, that could be lameness, that could be different kind of thing. On the other hand, we should again go back and not trying to find the trouble in everything but in ourselves. Many horses born completely straight, but we are responsible many times that we are making the horse crooked because our position is not proper, because our experience is not enough, and gradually, more and more continue that, the horse starts to defend himself, he adjusting himself according your force, and after that, he's getting crooked. So this is also what we have to keep in our mind. So I don't want to explain more details about straightness and forwardness, only the fact that there is a discussion and actually not 100% agreement. What is the most important out of the two to do first? Do you want to make horse your straight first, and after that, if it's straight, you ride forward? Or first you would like to ride forward, and after that, you would like to make straight? If that is the case, that you would like, you decide, or that is your opinion, that first you would like to ride your horse forward. So you have to know what it means, ride the horse forward. That is not so that the horse is going in one direction. Every horse, in a certain reason, if you are using your legs or bit or something like that, he will go somewhere, and people that are not horsemen and doesn't understand, he said, but he talks all the time about it. This horse is going forward. And I said, go forward. Forward going is obedience and willingness, and obedience. Happily moving forward and accepting the rider's signal for the movement. One example which will make very clear what is in the equestrian language riding forward willingly. That means that if you are sitting in the car and putting on the accelerator your leg and moving, that you forgot the handbrake open, your car will go, but he will not go very happily. You realize sooner or later that something is wrong. The same thing is with the horse. He's going forward, but the big difference in the equestrian language and in the equestrian feeling, when the horse moving forward freely, happily, relaxed, and accepting your signals to go. So these two things important and basic principles. After that, there are different kind of other little principles, but I will talk. But here I would like to mention one third thing before our wonderful riders will show that in practice. And that is that it existed by name, Frenchman, General Lahore. He has also a book and everything else after. He said, first the horse should be calm, after that make straight, and after that go forward. I have said that very important is that the horse should be calm, but I would hesitate to declare as basic principle the calmness, because the calmness is almost exactly the same as a human being. That is very difficult to teach to be calm, because many times that depends from the disposition. And as you know very well, to change the human being disposition is not a very easy task. Many times it's not possible. Many times could be improved, but many times doesn't work. So it is also possible, according, or if we are going a little bit more philosophically in this, improving the calmness, so that's calm, straight, and goes forward. But many times happening that the calmness existing in one very experienced and patient person, and immediately, if that's changed in somebody else riding and working, his disposition will not suit that horse, and this calmness will change very suddenly, and will be not calm, and will be excited, and the whole theory doesn't work. So you have to also think about that. But giving great credit to Allah is that the aim of the training is make calm, obedience, willing, pleasant, enjoyable. This is the aim, the goal of any kind of training. And if we have all these one after the other, that is when we are enjoying the riding. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have here very soon coming in 4 rider, student of the Westmoreland Davis Institute, and I will go out and I would like to make a little exercise so that you can see yourself everywhere which horse is completely straight, which horse is a little bit crooked, and so forth. And after that, you have more and more in your mind the importance and the fact that we have to think about it. So, here we are, we go. What I would like to ask you, you will riding together a little bit closer so that you should have only one length of the horse and go to the right hand, and each rider will make only one horse length from each other so that we can see the horses together. At the same time, I will not talking about riding and position and anything else because that comes later in our scheduling program. The point is now that I would like to talk about the straightness and the forwardness, so they are going over in a lively walk very nicely, and you can see that there is very little or nothing to criticize, but maybe I forget later to talk about it, that the instructor the first time is making sure that the length of the stirrup according the size of the horse and according the work and the training what you would like to do should be accurate and proper. So we change the direction to the diagonal, in walk, lively walk, what we call in a medium walk. The horse are lively, even, not excited, and the rider is sitting in a very pleasant, but at the same time very elegant position. Very good. So after that, I'm going straight in walk and seeing the horse how he's going. I have to admit, because I have to criticize, that many times the left hind leg is going inside, but in the same time I would not declare the back horse crooked, because that is what I say certain way, swinging the spine cord a little bit. And this gray horse, who is a young one, I would declare from the front completely straight, because that was 2 line, and also behind I cannot say, almost not see the front leg. And I can see that the rider able to sit straight, vertical on both hind leg, and is not going in no ways. So after this, when the fourth rider is on time and come a little bit closer, everyone at the same time turn to the left, go straight, and everybody can see self which horse is straight, which horse is crooked, and everyone full halt, stop. So after that, take a little shoulder lean, turn on the haunches, one by one, onto the right. So we are turn to the haunches, right. I am not telling anything else because we will talk about it. Turn, because the people would like to see the horse from behind in walk, yes. And after the horse is in the other direction, right there, walk again, collected walk, straight to the wall. Now you are seeing from behind, the big gray horse was straight. And there, turn to the left again. So that I would say I was very satisfied. And this wonderful thoroughbred horse, only 5-year-old, you should always a little bit with your one hand back and with the other hand forward. That's very important. that we have to be very flexible, so that don't run away because you have three wonderful riders behind you, so that a little bit more collected, and everyone in the same time trot, ordinary trot, and posting. So, again, I try to quietly, nicely go there, closer, and try to see the lines, and all four horses I would declare straight, and very nice the black horse, very nice the standing. Very good. And that is the ordinary trot, and from the side, every horse looks straight. That is why I'm explaining that you have to go in the front or behind. Change the direction through the diagonal, and I am looking at the horse now that the hind leg is even or not even, because that doesn't show the crookedness, but in the same time I can realize certain kind of trouble physically maybe. Well, I take one more, because I am not very happy only to say. A couple of times his right hind leg is going a little bit in under his belly. Very good. And now if we are on the other wall, and if we are nicely divided, make sure that you are doing exactly the same way. Everyone turn to the right and try to be straight to the people so that they can see self, and turn after that to the left. Right. Left is left, right is right in every language, and I will do that once more. Don't forget that we were not working together. Everyone at the same time turn to the left, and be straight so that the people can see, and turn to the right. This is now the change the direction through the diagonal to the M, and I am going here, and there is no wall, and this horse is perfectly straight. That is Kim. And the black horse is very. So of course I cannot say every horse, but you can do that one by one. Very important after this that we are going over walk, collected walk, lively walk, and in the canter, we will canter in everyone on the same time, and we are going around in canter. In a canter, all right, collected canter, on the left leg. Doesn't matter, tararam, tararam, tararam. Let's go around once, and after that quietly nice I'm coming here, and in canter, and that is mostly the rider's fault, that the hindquarter of the horse deviate from the straight line, and the horse is cantering in three lines. I can do that from here, and that is when the rider has to take back a little bit the inside leg, which is the left one. So, very good, excellent, the first horse. The second horse, left leg is a little bit out. This was all right. The black horse is perfect. Let's go again, canter, just continue. In other words, now I know already that I will watch the second horse, because I was not very happy about the left hind leg. He was not exactly moving in the direction of the left front leg. Change the direction through the diagonal, and a couple of steps in trot, canter on to the right, because that could be that was only a bad habit, or that could be maybe the rider fault, but maybe with the right hind leg will be straight. And this is good now. So in other words, I have no reason to feel that the horse has physical trouble, and definitely not change, definitely not the black horse. Very good. Now we are going here from H and change the direction through the diagonal. Through the diagonal, when no ball helping one side, the horse is completely free, and I try to look from here, and the horse is straight. All the leg is going in the same direction. A little bit maybe the right hind leg on this gray horse was up from the straight line. And we are going over. Walk, go to your place, Sammy, and walk, collect that walk. Collect that walk. Go to your place. You're the first. The gray. The other next will be, but I would like to see, besides that they are all on the bit, and I will explain also what I feel, how to explain the horse on the bit, but they are on the bit. And after this, I would like to make extended trot. In other words, I would like to show that when the horse is going forward, we were watching and we were criticizing the horse straightness. But after that, I would like to say which horse is really willingly and relaxed way going forward as much the rider asking. So let's go over trot, ordinary trot, and posting. Very nice. And we are going once around so that the horses are settled down and the rider is feeling and establishing the natural rhythm of the horse in trot. And after that, gradually coming out from the corner at X, change the direction, throw the diagonal, and gradually extend that trot, and stretch that trot. Yes, even, and a little bit more, but it was not even enough. Collected in trot. Gradually extend that trot suddenly. Yes, good, that goes willing, both. And before the corner, shorter. This great horse should go even. Very nice. The black horse, everybody can see. Look the ears, look the horse expression that he is willing to go. And now ordinary trot. And we will make the last time from K, change the direction through the diagonal, and after the turn, like you came with the car, gradually extend the trot to the M. And here I can see the willingness, the equestrian forward rest. But without exciting, is happily go forward. Very good, the black one. On the other hand, gradually we are going over collected trot, and sitting trot, shorter, sitting trot, keep your place, sitting trot, don't run away with the first horse, don't run away, yes, good, very good now, very good, I would like to have that everybody will see that after the collection, how willingly they will go forward, and that will be from the X on the hook, and after, if the horse walking, turn to the right, to the middle, and full halt. And after that, I could see this horse here stays and all hand, except now because he moved, the left hand a little out, but it was before, it was very much better right now is straight. And after that I go to the other one. And I am no moved again. Move back again with your left leg. Good. Make one step forward. One step forward. Good. And the horse is staying straight. Melanie. And after the other one. That is perfectly all right. I can see the hind legs. I am very satisfied. And after that, that's a young horse. Is a little bit now stays crooked. Go forward one couple of steps. Yes. Once more. Use your right leg. Yes. A little bit. All right. Once more. All right. Once more. Right. All right. This is, and the horse is staying straight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a nice little, but very nice exhibition. Thank you very much. Give a long rein and go out. And we will see you later. Walk out. Well, we are continuing my little lecture. You remember that I started our lecture in the morning about the basic principles. And we showed also the basic principles what Gustav Steinbeck expressed so very simple and so very easy way. And I'm sure that you will remember, because this exhibition you remember well all the time when you are teaching other people. But there is also particular principle. And the particular principles are also very short in two things. One is the maintenance of the balance of the horse. And the other one is stabilizing the rhythm. These two things are the particular principle of the riding. The balance has to be described. The equal distribution of weight around a center, some center, that is the balance, and that is, I would say, the proper explanation and definition of the balance. So everybody has a balance. Every human being has a balance. We know very well that we have the balance because we are not feeling in our nose. On the other hand, the horse has a balance, natural balance, but also very logical to understand that if we are sitting on the back of the horse, doesn't matter how much weight we are, we very definitely influencing the natural balance of the horse. So the point is that everybody realizes that the balance always changing. Our balance is changing, but at the same time, that is a natural instinct, and also a natural instinct of the horse to re-establish his natural balance. So if you have stumbles in a couple of steps and helping your hand, you are getting back again your stable balance. The horse could really make slippery something and almost fell down, but the instinct will make him so that he is regaining his balance, the natural balance. The only thing is, which could be difficult for the horse, if we as riders, instead to helping, we are interfering his natural instinct to regaining his balance. So that is why we have to spend a little time to talking about the natural balance of the horse, because not only that our weight influencing the horse's natural balance, but in the same time, the training what we are doing and trying to make the horse more pleasant, more obedient, more, I would say, flexible for our purposes, with our different type of elementary training movement, we are disturbing the natural balance of the horse. I made a little drawing. That is the center of gravity point of the horse. This line, which is going vertical down, what we call the center of gravity line. Now, this, not to disturb the natural rhythm of the horse, we have to realize that we have to be above this point with our weight, that he can move and do everything without disturb. So that is one of the most, I would say, principle, trying to our riders and ourselves above this point, as long that it stands still and supported by 4 legs, 4 front legs and the 2 hind legs, and his own horse, his own weight and our weight distributed on these 4 different points which is supporting his body. You know that it is proven that the horse is carrying more weight on the the forehand as the hind legs. And that was proven different time. 2 Frenchmen did it, 2 Polishmen did it, and put the horse in 2 different scales, you see, so that the hind leg was in one scale, and very close the other scale was the front leg, and they put there, and they showed, without any question, that it was more weight here as behind, and that is also logically for everybody, that if we are looking from the center of gravity point, that is the neck and the head, and this part must be, and is much more wider also, must be heavier as behind the 2 hind legs and more narrower hind quarter. And if we a little bit just looking that and we have in our mind, that will explain us about many things, but otherwise we are not thinking that this center of gravity point, it is not completely all the time the same, because every time the horse is moving his neck, the center of gravity point is moving also forward. If the horse raising his head, the center of gravity going backwards. The same thing is on every side. Once if he's moving forward, he's putting more weight on the right side, and the center of gravity point is coming a little bit on the side. So that is shifting. And we have to only realize that this gravity point, which goes through the gravity point, the gravity line, moving, the shifting the gravity point forward. In other words, if we are sitting completely on the proper place, And this line is moving forward, not to disturb a horse. In natural rhythm, we have to go with. Now, how much we are going forward is depending from the impulsion. He's walking, very little. If he is trotting, more impulsion. We have to go more concerned going with this line or a little bit ahead of this line forward, not to disturb the horse. If he's cantering, the speed is more, we have to even more concern because we are always a little bit ahead of the center of gravity line. That is when the horse keeping his natural balance. That is what I said. We have to maintain the natural balance of the horse. Maintain. In every movement. Later we will show also how much we have to maintain the natural balance of the horse in jumping when he is leaving the ground and is the air moving and how we can follow that. That this maintenance of the balance depending for us every time when the horse moves. And just telling two examples that there is no controversial. Why the jockey is way in front, as you know very well, on top of the neck of the horse and almost very close to the ears of the horse, right there, on this part of the horse here. He has to be here because this center of gravity line and inside the center of gravity point of the horse moves so fast that he cannot afford to be behind because he will be ruining and disturbing the natural balance of the horse. So in other words, the horse will be not able to be so fast as other times. So that is one extreme. The other extreme, but you know because you are interested and educated in dressage, the other extreme is if one of our greatest guy, who gold medal winner, but anybody else who can make a pirouette, and you know what's a pirouette. The pirouette is a turn, movement, turn, in canter without any movement forward. In other words, the horse is shifting his center of gravity way back on the hindquarter to be able to move in the same time and turning. That is, if you say the pictures, the dressage rider in a high-level competition is Olympic game. He is not sitting in this position. He is sitting very straight, not only very straight, but he is a little bit behind the center of gravity line, making possible for the horse to move his center of gravity point back on the hindquarter to be able to make the turn. So these two different, I would say, extreme is just supporting the principle and the idea. And this is what we have to have all the time as principle in our mind. The other thing is the rhythm, stabilizing the rhythm. The rhythm, as you know, mostly used in music and in dance, but basically that means regularity. The rhythm is regularity. And no horse and no human being is keeping all the time the same regularity. In other words, the same rhythm. This rhythm always changing because the human being and the animal is not like the machine that you are putting in your car, I don't know how you call it, and after that is going 55 without any touching, because the machine or any production machinery is placed so that it's just keeping the same rhythm. We are always changing, and the horse always changes. So that the good rider, and not only a good rider, but the rider self, has to stabilize the rhythm of the horse in all gaits, in walk and in trot and in canter. He has to stabilize that with his own ability. Ability, that means that he has, for him, different, I would say, way how he can stabilize the rhythm. Stabilize the rhythm, his position, that he is not changing all the time, because that disturbs the horse. That he has a feeling for the rhythm, that before that slows down, he's already creating impulsion. He has to feel before to impulsion to collecting and slowing down the impulsion. In other words, the rider all the time will be involved to stabilizing the rhythm. But that doesn't mean that spectators and looking people that realize what the rider is doing, because that should be invisible, actually, because the horse has to be trained such a fine way that the rider could stabilize the rhythm without anybody else realize. If the horse is start to trot here around, and I am staying here a Vajda, he can go here around 5 times, and I should have exactly the second as he's coming. So I would say this rider has the feeling for the rhythm because he kept that. You can say the rhythm also as instructor from the hind leg. How you can follow with your voice. And your voice will show everybody that the rhythm is not changing. If you are able to follow the hind leg of the horse and telling the right hind leg, right, left, and that is even, that means that the rhythm is stabilized. If you said right, left, right, that obviously the rhythm is not there. And the whole movement and the whole balance is completely ruined. So this is the particular principle, these two, the maintenance of the maintenance of the balance, and that is connected with the center of gravity point, and after that stabilizing the rhythm, which explained and defined by different peoples and very knowledgeable people. And that is, in my opinion, the regulated impulsion. And that is the rhythm. Regulated impulsion. Because the rhythm is entirely different in canter. Because there is a speed involved. But there is a rhythm. And if we are talking about this, we have to talk what is the rhythm in walk and trot and canter. In walk, we know all. That no leg moving at the same time. The body of the horse is supported always in walk with 3 legs. In trot is supported with 1 diagonal. And in canter is supported in 3, 1 hind leg, 1 diagonal, and the third is the front, the inside front leg. So, let's say that the rhythm in walk is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. that horse is running away. Doesn't matter that it is walking. In our language, in our knowledge, we know all that horse is not walking. That horse is running away. Other people, they have not the equestrian language. He said, I don't know what you are talking because he is walking. For me, he's running away because there is no rhythm, there is no 4 beat. Because in walk, the horse has 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you could say, and if you can hear on the hard top, that is even, that is the rhythm of walk. In trot is easier. Everybody can see, and everybody can hear, for my voice, if I said trotting. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That is the diagonal, because one diagonal moving together and touching the ground and coming in the air at the same time, the other diagonal and touching the ground. So very easy to say that in trot the horse has 2 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If that is mixed up, if that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, that horse has no rhythm in the trot, is running away. In canter, you have 3 beats. You have one hind leg pushing the body forward, taking over the movement, the diagonal, that is the second. And after that goes the weight and supporting the horse with the inside front leg. So you can hear that 3. You hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that it starts to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That horse already on the forehand is running away. So remember, walk, rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, trot, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, canter, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So after that, if you are analyzing young horse who is not completely balanced and you are disturbing a little bit the balance, every second beat will sound stronger as the other. You can hear that only if you are walking on the hard top. In canter, naturally, the third is the stronger because one front leg actually taking care tenths of a second or less the whole weight of the horse. So there you hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is the loudest. And all these things we must know because that is theory and at the same time our riding and our practice will be entirely different if we are aware. So how should we and why is that? That's all. Very easy. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
This videocassette series is based on the book The Némethy Method, published by Doubleday, and available in bookstores and tack shops everywhere. For information about the complete series, write The Némethy Method Incorporated, Post Office Box 200, Gladstone, New Jersey 07934.